calling Swiper a hero? A hero? Whole time though, he blaming Vaughn's brother, saying Zell was snitching. You call that a hero, Chris? Huh? He almost got Zell killed. Blaming Zell for his actions. That's not a hero. That's a coward. Let's stop there, Chris. I'll bug up. You want to call a rat a hero? This ain't Chuck E. Cheese. Let's stop there. I gotta watch this bullshit.
The fuck?
Like the weed, sir.
It hit different. Do y'all homework. All right, look. Look.
Omegadrip. Look here, you high, young wavy head, how we sure looking motherfucker. You're not from the streets of Chicago. You don't live in the streets of Chicago. You don't have to worry about your grandmother going to the store. You don't have to worry about your daughter getting shot on the way to school. So you don't have a right to speak on the politics on 63rd and 64th because you never lived there. I did. I lived in that environment. And this is why I'm telling you that I'm happy that Muwap is going to do life in jail for the murder of Carlton Weekly. Because Muwap is an animal. Muwap is a wild dog that needed to be brought to heel. And thanks to Trench's News and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Muwap will now get the treatment and the rehabilitation that he needs. And my community is a lot more safer. Yes, I said what I said. Trench's News is a hero. Because Swipe got 6 murderers off the streets of Chicago. Brother, this is my question to you. How many murderers have you gotten off the streets? How much crime have you cleaned up in your neighborhood? So before you go around judging a fellow Chicago for cleaning up his neighborhood, how about you go look at Bronx River, look at New York and clean up your neighborhood? Because your neighborhood is just as dirty as ours. But it'll never get cleaned up because you civilians want to subscribe to this criminal mentality of no snitching. You want to keep it in the streets. But the crazy thing is, omegadrip, you're a forklift driver. You work a regular 9 to 5. You have a beautiful family. You have beautiful friends. You do beautiful things on the weekend. Nothing about you is street. So why do you feel the need to go around terrorizing other civilians and demonizing other civilians when we want justice? Yes, we want justice for Carlton. Yes, I want justice for all of the children that died on 63rd. I want all justice for everyone. I want justice for the children that died in Oblock. And I'm going to tell you this one last time. Yes, I'm happy Muwap is in jail. I hope they give him life, and I hope he burns in hell.
The fuck?
Because he's
Like
a
the
demon,
weed,
just like Bone was a
It hit
demon.
different.
See,
Do
murder's
y'all
a demon.
homework. All right,
And
look.
they all operate on a demonic frequency that I refuse to operate on.
It hit different.
Omegadrip, I'm going to tell you something. Swipe is right. There are more civilians than there are criminals. And I will no longer allow you criminals to hold my page hostage. I will no longer allow you gang members to force me to subscribe to the way you live. When I pay taxes. So I said it and I mean it. In the words of Swipe, fuck them. They're murderers, they're killers, and they are urban. I'm not even going to say that word because I know what YouTube is using my page.
Like the weed, sir.
They did nothing good to the community.
Put your fucking skirt down, B. Nigga get shot every day. 6 years. I've been home off parole, off everything, right? 6 years without selling no drugs, no fast money, no fast life, none of that. Give it all up. But change starts at home. Change starts here. Change starts here. If we don't work on ourselves, all this bullshit you're talking about don't mean nothing if nobody's putting in the work. You ask me how many murderers I put in jail. Do I look like a cop? Do I look like I gotta put handcuffs on dudes or tell on dudes and lock them up? That's not how change comes. It's like Muwap, the one that's got you all scared behind the screen, right? It's like him saying, I'm telling on everybody because I want to clean the streets out when he's been doing dirt. How the fuck you calling that boy a hero? We're not doing that. I'm all for change and working on the community. That's what I do. I've been doing that. I'm a case manager. I got kids on fentanyl coming to me every day, sick as a dog. I got to take their vitals, make sure they get their meds, make sure they eat. Run goals group in the morning. Do one-on-one sessions with them. Get a treatment plan going. But you want to ask me how many people are locked up? Let me ask you how many people you helped. How many people have you gone out in the streets and helped out of your pocket? Bought them lunch. Gave them a word for the day and told them they didn't have to live like that. My word speaks for itself. Let's start there. I ain't perfect. I get out of line all the time. I used to be in love with the streets and the drug game. I used to get a thrill out of driving around with a bag full of drugs holding a gun. Right? I ain't got to live like that no more. I ain't got to worry about no ops. I ain't got to worry about 12. You want to say I have a nice life and I'm not from the streets and I shouldn't be touching on no gangster shit? I just left court watching a guy that killed my nephew get 27 years. My life is real. Don't ever question my life and say whether it's gangster enough for me to speak on stuff or not. I can relate more to the trenches in the gutter than you can, Chris. While you was in the trenches walking to the bus, I was that nigga in the corner to let you walk by in peace. They told the other nigga, don't fuck with him, leave him alone. He a good dude, he gonna work. He out the way. I was that dude, Chris. Let's start there. Let's start there. So before you question whether I'm hood enough to speak on 63rd, question whether I'm good enough to relate to the pain and see and know and recognize what them kids is going through. I was the first blogger to talk about the mental health part of this whole struggle shit when it came down to swipe. I touched on it in a different level from any other blogger and said, this is what we go through when we don't have a dad and a positive role model to look up to teach us how to be men, right? That's what happens. When our role model and our big brother is the drug dealer in the corner, is the dude that's drilling dudes. In the Oblock paperwork, I said if you didn't shoot it up, you was a goofy. Imagine that, 12, 13 years old. And if you didn't put it in no work, they laugh at you and call you a goofy because you ain't drilling no ops. I've been the one drilling the ops, Chris. I've been the one in front of the gun. I've been the one behind the gun. I know the feeling, Chris. I've been there. Have you been there? Can you relate to pulling a trigger? Can you relate to watching your dad overdose when you're 10 years old? Needle in his arms, you grabbing him with your mom, throwing him in the tub. Can you relate? Don't question whether I'm hood enough to speak about something. When I am the hood, I represent the hood. I live this shit. But now I live different. I live so that my two boys, older one just came home for an attempted murder, gun charges. The little one still facing attempted murders and gun charges, stealing cars and all that. 18, still in jail. Why? They wanted to follow my footsteps. They thought I was gangster, I was the way. My shorties, my crew, my block, they follow my footsteps. You know what I do now? I'm on the phone with them, still kicking game. They watch me and they see and they know. They're like, damn, him right there, that's my I remember he used to do this, he used to be like this, he used to do that. He was about that. And if he can do it, I can do it. If that wild boy, live wire over there, omegadrip, can change his life, have a good job and give to others and live by example, they know they can also do it. They got a way too. So that's what I do every day. I lead by example, Chris. Let's start there. Since you want to talk about hood politics, let's talk hood politics, Chris. 63rd, I was on 63rd, talking to the people, giving back to the people. Cash out my pocket, Chris. Out there in the bus stop on 63rd. I was on King Drive, giving back to the drug addicts, telling them, you don't gotta live like that. You want something to eat? Let me buy you a snack. Let me buy you a bottle of water. Drink a Gatorade or something. Right? I went to the church in Oblock. Sat down with Dell, had a conversation. Talked about the vision that they had and the vision I had. And how we could connect in politics. So that we could make this go from the East Coast to the Midwest and all around, right? You can't change everything else if you're not changing within yourself. Change starts within. I can't be telling others don't do this and do that and you should live like this and you should live like that, but I'm not leaving by example. How is this nigga a hero? That's not a fucking hero. He almost got Zell killed. The whole time, he was the one who told. While he was reading our paperwork, blaming Zell, saying that's Zell right there, that was him. He didn't care. So no, I'm not fucking calling that man a hero. How you calling another man a hero? Put your fucking skirt up, B. Let's start